It's your boy Concert Viz 34, and today I have a concert review for the Avett brothers. Finally was able to see them last night, and they did not disappoint. Quick story again, my quest to find the Avett brothers at a live event and actually see them had three strikes. This was the third strike, and this was the third time was the charm. First time, 2016, tried to see him in Simsbury, Connecticut. Show was moved. Concerns of rain from a previous canceled festival out there, and I believe Scranton. They decided to, I think, because of that thunderstorm that canceled that, to move it to New Haven indoors. Couldn't make that. Second strike this summer. I'm still a little bummed from this one. The Pink Floyd. Government mule style shows with the Avett Brothers opening up. Same day as my Dave Matthews Band SPAC Night 2 show. So I already had that booked. I had a wedding booked, which got canceled. I was supposed to play acoustically at the wedding, and that got canceled. But it worked out because I went to Dave. But that was strike two. And finally, I took a swing and I connected here with this show. I didn't know about it when they went on sale, but then I was just searching. Avett Brothers, like, man, I don't know. I really want to see them. And I'm like, oh, they're going to be in Yukon. And I'm like, oh, I live about, 40 minutes away. I know the area well. Went to school down the street at Eastern Connecticut State University, not too far from Yukon. So I'm going, and got a great deal. Last minute tickets here on StubHub because it was sold out at the box office. For the most part, a couple of singles in the back and balcony. I was able to score a really good deal and get a nice center, orchestra towards the back, but not at the furthest back section. And this show, it was just amazing. The Avett Brothers are essentially, if Mumford and Sons could actually write different songs and be able to have good songwriting skills and to have a little more musical talent, they would be the Avett Brothers. And it's shocking that the Avett Brothers, while they are popular, I'm surprised they don't get as much recognition for their songwriting, for their musicianship as some of the more mainstream acts. But hey, that's just how it is nowadays. If you're not a certain pop or mainstream type of style, if you're not too broad and general and cliche like modern country music, you can have a very huge following like the Avett Brothers do, but it's gonna stick to the theaters and different festivals, and that's where it stays. But that the great thing about nowadays, again, is with the internet, with all the advertising, this music still reaches thousands upon thousands of fans. I think more fans should appreciate it. I think the Avett Brothers write better songs with their little spearhead of the trio of writers they have, the bassist, and then the Avett Brothers themselves that do a lot of the writing. I think that they write much better than what 5 or 6 country music writers in a room can write for that latest country song. These guys are on point, and as a hip-hop fan, as a poet myself, a very small-time poet here in Connecticut, I really love their lyrics, because the one thing about singer-songwriters is some of them, they got some pretty hot stuff, but a lot of it is mediocre. They think it's better than it is. Even the stuff that people quote on Pinterest isn't that good. The Avett Brothers songwriting is so on point. It is so solid. It is so clever. It's a mix of the traditional, songwriting of bluegrass and country, along with the modern 20th century, late 20th century wittiness that you see in alternative rock. And that's what makes these guys amazing, and gals, as far as the pianist there. So shout out to them. And I had 4 songs that I wanted to listen to for this show. But again, I never want to put pressure to say, you have to play these songs, band. I don't want to be that guy. But these were the songs. It was No Hard Feelings, The Ballad of Love and Hate, Shame, and Murder in the City. And every song except Shame was played. And Shame is not as big of a song as these other ones in the catalog, in the set list flow. So I pretty much thought it wasn't going to be played. But it's just, that's probably my favorite Avett Brothers song. is Shame, and the best written song to me is No Hard Feelings. It's in a beautiful song, and what a way to close a show. They close with No Hard Feelings, and that was just it just takes you on a path of just reflecting on life, and it's deep and it's well thought out and it's emotional as well. So I think they couldn't have ended on a better song than No Hard Feelings, which they do pretty often is end on that, and that's fine. And I like that. Now, the great thing about this band is they transition really well. I got to give them credit because many bands, bands that like I've seen, the Dave Matthews Bands, the Dead End Companies, the String Cheeses, the Humphreys McGee's, many of these bands that play different sets every night, and you have a bunch of different instruments that types of instruments and tunings you play. The transitions are a little more rougher than what the Avett Brothers do. They get a lot of songs in. We got 27 songs, and shout out to everyone on Setlist FM. I initially put up a skeleton list of the songs. I think I had about 23 or 24 of the 27, and one of the songs was off of that 24, and someone corrected it. It's What's with January was the song. I think I said January something. But shout out to everyone in there because this is my first show. I know a lot of their category, but they just have a broad category. I'm not going to know everything at the first show I go to. So we got that all squared away. It looks like it's pretty accurate. The songs I missed are there. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was a song. That was a song. So, but the transitions are so smooth, and they play a lot of songs. So you get a lot of the catalog no matter, where you may catch them. And that's what I realized going to this show. And I love how they give you a taste of everything. I'm very eclectic. September, I'm going to J. Cole, and then I'm going to Elton John, and then I had went to Farm Aid all in the same month. I love different types of music. I don't really look at a genre and say, hey, well, that genre is bad, except I'm not a huge fan of EDM music, which is just a different thing anyway, but I like elements of it in bands like Humphreys McGee, where they have some of those mixes and different effects. But anyway, I love how they have everything. You got some pretty hard rock on the Les Paul, and one of the other Gibsons. I don't know if it's the ES or whatever, but one of those open Gibsons as well. So you got a little bit of rock. You got the bluegrass. You got the country. You got solo stuff with just the homie Seth playing by himself, and you have stuff with the trio of bassist, banjo, guitar, and then you have little four amigos action with the cello player as well. So I love that you got all these different feelings, all these different emotions, and they did them very well. I was wondering how acoustically soft it was going to be and how loud it was going to be. I've seen clips of them play, opening up for, what was it? Government Mule, like they did this year. And they're playing to more of a, it's going to be a louder, bigger concert crowd. They're playing to them, and I've seen them play in smaller venues like the one in Storrs, Jorgensen Performing Arts Center, which is only a couple thousand people. Fun fact, my brother graduated there from the local high school about 30 minutes away. He had his graduation there. So it's a very intimate venue as far as theaters go. And, they filled the room up, and they got the energy, but they also had those nice acoustic and soft moments, ballads and solo, acoustic stuff. And speaking of that, the Ballad of Love and Hate and Murder in the City, those two of those songs that I wanted to hear, two of the four, those were they did not disappoint. And again, Seth playing those by himself, very, very, very well played. Even though I knew what to expect, I've heard live versions on YouTube. I've heard the studio cuts of them, but it's just when you're there, you're in the moment. You're like, wow, this is happening. So I mean, this show it really impressed me, and I definitely want to try to see them again. And I'm glad that they're making efforts to get out to Connecticut. They did in 2016, and then also they did it this year, on their way to do a late night, I think, gig they said, and then go to the Cap. Shout out to my homies that run the cap. I don't really know them, but the one experience I've had there is amazing last year for my birthday, Humphreys McGee. And I keep saying I'm going to keep going, but I really am going to try to head back there very soon for another show. They do a wonderful job at the Capitol Theater. So glad they stopped by. This poster, by the way, this was also another thing that I like. This is the Avett Brothers poster for last night. This was only $30. Now, yeah, these posters vary by show to show and where you go. Posters I have up here, some of them are more than others, but like for instance, to go see the Dave Matthews Band, those posters are about $60. This was half the price. It's the same quality as I look at this poster and as I look at my DMB poster up there. It's about the same quality, and this is numbered. You know, you have this is 105 of 700. So they did it's a limited release. That's what you pay for as a poster head. And my problem is I keep saying, no, don't buy a poster. I'm running out of space. You see my Allman Brothers there. I have 2 posters here. I got 2 posters in my bedroom that I have this whole week off for my birthday celebration, and birthday was Sunday. So I have Wednesday, today, Thursday, Friday off. So I got to go get those posters done, and this poster and the Elton John poster. So I'm running out of space, and I know I'm in the first stages. I know some of y'all out there that go to a lot of shows, your whole downstairs finished basement or your music room or office room is full of posters. I'm trying to stay clean, guys. I'm trying to kick the habit so that if I ever get married, if I ever have a woman that we share a house, it's not just a bunch of concert photos. Although some of these posters, this poster is very beautiful, and I think it has the animal on it. So if I get married, have a wifey, I think they'll let this one stay up in the living room. We'll have to see. But again, great job by the Avett Brothers. Jorgensen itself, the staff was very great there. Only complaint is the traffic. It is not really UConn's fault. Living here my whole life, having an aunt that went to UConn in the 80s, this school was not supposed to be as big as it is now. It kind of exploded from a farming school, agricultural school, to what it is. But it reminded me why I don't go to a lot of sporting events at Gamble Pavilion when some of the sports teams play a select amount of games there. I wait till they come to Hartford. Traffic was horrible. If you ever go to Jorgensen, don't park in the north garage. Park in the garage closer to Gamble Pavilion. That's gonna have less people there than the concerts there. But it just took forever to leave that. And I'm not far away. Again, I'm 40 minutes from UConn, from where I currently live. But traffic was horrible getting there and then leaving. Just one of those things. But again, the staff did a great job at Jorgensen. It's traffic. They can't control the traffic in the school and where, the economics of what happened to UConn over the last 30 years. The Avett Brothers did your thing. Thank you, guys. If you're watching this, thank you. I've been meaning to see you for years. I've seen other people say that as well. I've seen some comments. I was looking through some other stuff of just on social media and on different things on YouTube, and a lot of fans they really want to see this band, and they're expanding to, again, come to Connecticut, come to other parts they don't usually come to. And I'm glad that, just like me, other fans are able to experience them. I will be back to some sort of show of some kind. Let me know what you guys think. If you are new here or watching this for the first time, you're like, oh, I want to see I'm looking at this video from the review. My name is Conservist34, what I go by here online. I love sharing my experience with music. I am long-winded, working on being short-winded. And just check out my videos. Let me know what you think. If you're into a bunch of different types of jam bands and other alternative artists, a little bit of hip hop, I try to cover what I can of these shows I go to, these experiences I go to. I don't really collect many things outside of concert posters. I try to collect memories at sporting events and, of course, concerts, why I'm called Conservist34. And I try to capture some of the moments of shows I go to, but I also try to balance it with some recording, and then the rest of the time I'm taking in the moment. At Storrs at UConn yesterday, I took in the moment, didn't record any full songs, just clips here and there to share with friends. But it was a great show, great crowd, and again, thank you. The homies, Seth, Scott, the rest of the band, you guys rock. It's your boy Conservist34. I'm out.